Hello there and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in the Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and today we're on episode 3 of the Muppet Who Makes Models Badly, tackling a Jay's Model Kit JY0120 Commonwealth Wirraway. Now, as per the previous 2 episodes on this, we've gone at it with a bunch of tools like our sanding stick, our clippers, some files, our Hardell Dremel copy, and we've got all our parts reworked and we're ready to start throwing some glue at this. So what I've done, as you can see, is I've taped this up to try and ascertain whether I'm ready to go, and I do have a few minor gapping issues, but I'm kind of figuring a bit of Vallejo plastic putty will come to the rescue here. But having taken a not inconsiderable amount of plastic off it, I'm kind of happy with where I am. It's certainly looking a hell of a lot better than last time I had to go to a Kiwi Garage kit, which was this Mark 22 Ventura Spitfire. So everything seems to go. I mean, I've got a couple of gaps here, a couple of gaps there. There is a chip out of the wing, which is a slight moulding defect. And we've got the rubber band on, and it kind of all looks as though it's going to fit together quite nice. Certainly no worse or better than a sort of 1980s, 1990s sort of Revell or Hella, in my opinion anyway. So we're going to peel the tape off, and what we're going to do in this video, I think, is we're going to be trying to stick the fuselage together, the wings together, and I've made this sort of jig here for trying to attach these bits of the tail. I'm also going to stick the engine mounting together as well. Incidentally, as per the instructions, there's a rather interesting sort of roll cage diagram here that you can construct out of some of the polystyrene evergreen rod and tube or something similar. One of my regular commenters, Brian, is very keen for me to get onto this, and I did actually chop a bit of the evergreen up yesterday and try to glue something together, and all I really achieved was making a bit of a gluey mess all over my nice cutting mat. So we won't be going anywhere with that this time. There is a requirement on this though to put some sort of floor in, as you can see the cockpit on this is very, very deep, and if you just stick the seats to the bottom, well, your pilots aren't going to be able to see. So I built this out of my famous spares box, and I believe this is actually part of the bomb racking for my B-29 Super Fortress. No idea where this flattish piece has come from, but I've stuck a bit of evergreen on there just to try and make it flat. So we're going to be sticking the seats and all the other bits and bobs that are supplied to that. Another commenter has asked me to have a go with some traditional sort of Humbro poly cement, which I've pinched out of another kit, and I think we'll be using that on the tail surfaces here. Like I had said in the previous video, I've had a couple of good suggestions on trying to fabricate guide holes and guides out of the excess that is attached to these, and using some brass pin rodding. But I'm just not at that sort of level, to be quite honest with you. And putting a couple of holes in here and then trying to match them up with a couple of holes in this quite thin piece of tail. Nah, I can't get my head around that. I mean, if you guys know how to do it, that's great, go for it. But I'm just going to use the glue. We've also cut out a one of the clear cockpit canopies, which are sort of vacuum form, and we've got one spare. We've done this one and it kind of fits okay. I can't really show you at the moment because the rubber band's on. I might try cutting this one out and see which one I get to be better. So here we go then. Let's take the rubber band off. Let's take our carefully prepared tape off, and we'll try and stick some of this thing together. I'm going to be using Tamiya cement for most of the rest of this. I don't think I'm confident enough to use the extra thin. And incidentally, there might be some hard cuts in this, hard cut edits, depending on how we get on. So there we go. So there's a tape off. I did actually wash all the parts in soapy water as well, for those that you are like that sort of thing. So as you can see, the interior of this is quite rough due to where the reworking has occurred. I might have a bit too much on there, but never mind. So let's see how that goes. Let's grab a peg. As we can see, it's going together okay. There's a bit of gap in where the ailerons meet the wing, but it's supposed to have a bit of a gap, so that's fine. Everything else is lining up. We've got a little bit of a gap here, which is probably more down to over exuberation of utilization of tooling. So I think we'll put a couple of pegs on that one. Now obviously when I'm doing these things, I'm doing it on camera, and I am kind of aware of time, because very long videos tend to get a bit yawn-tastic for you guys. So when you're doing these sort of things, I'm sure you'd probably take a little bit more time than I am. But I have trying to do some sort of actual building on camera now. And with my limited kit building abilities and my limited editing abilities, this is about the only thing I can do. So don't do these things as quickly as I do. These are not tutorial vids, these are just a muppet making models badly. So let's get a couple of pegs on there. I think that's looking about right. We have got a bit of a gap on this one and a bit of a chip, which is down to overexcitement. I need a drink. Morris Sutherland single malt whiskey from Australia. Very nice. So we'll leave that to one side, and we'll have a go putting this fuselage together. Yeah. I do have a bit of a worry about where the tail meets here, but I was kind of difficult to get the tools in, so kind of decided just to suck it and see how it comes out with that bit. There we go. So that's that bit kind of done. What should we do next? Got the tail. Oh yeah, we've got to do this bit, haven't we? So this is the front of the engine. And that goes together quite nicely. I mean, none of the, there's no guide pins or anything like that on these kits, so whoops. Hello. Where did that noise come from? That's probably the best way to go with that. So we'll let that set a little bit. And then sorry for the smoke if you're seeing it. I'm trying to quit smoking actually. I'm smoking these inhaler things, what are they called, vapes. And I'm doing quite well. I used to smoke about 20 a day. I'm currently down to about 4. So that's all good. Got a bit of gluey residue on there, never mind. got a bit of a gap here. Let's put a bit of filler on that at some point. So I think that's gone together okay. So let's see what our wings are looking like. Make sure we're kind of happy with what's going on, what's occurring. So yeah, we got a bit of gap in here, but I'm not unduly concerned about that because that's only very minor. Everything else seems to have gone together quite nicely, so I'm happy. We did take some of the undercarriage bays out, unfortunately, so we're going to fill that in again. We've had to take, we weren't really quite certain how much to take off here because of these sort of minor gaps that we've got, and maybe that's not a recommended way to do it, but yeah, I think it'll look okay once we sort it out. So there we go, so we're ready to put this bit in, I reckon. What do you reckon? Sod it, we'll put it in. Stick it in and see what happens. Let's get that band on there. Could have done with a thicker band really, but never mind. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. What a nightmare. We'll just hold it in place and put the band on later. So you can see we've got a bit of gap in here. We're going to end up with a bit of gapping on the wings, I reckon. But this is directly off a mould produced by Malcolm Laird sometime in the 90s. So it's a fair assumption that it's about 30 years old. So let's see if we can get that on now. Needed a bigger band. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Right. So next task is these bits of the tail. So I made that little jig out of white tack. And we're going to stick these on and then we'll wrap it up for now. Well, they're not going to be perfect. I'm going to let them set a little bit and then I'm just going to manipulate them. Try and get them straight. Probably be doing that off camera. But hopefully you can see that's kind of works. And I'll be putting that on later on when I've played around with it. So there we go. We're kind of getting somewhere. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers. And be seeing you.